If you shoot for the moon, you get our next guest thrown in. She's the best-selling author and lunar luminary whose new book is gonna send your life stellar. Your Cosmic Purpose is out now and she's currently on tour. So please welcome the always star-bursty Kirsty Gallagher.
Let's hear it for Kirsty! How are you, Kirst?
I'm good. All the better for seeing you. It's so good to see you.
It's so good to see you. I wanted to catch up on Friday where we live, but you can do that because you're on tour.
I was on tour.
Tell us about your tour. What's going on?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, honestly, to go and gather like hundreds and hundreds of people together in rooms, all like-minded people, and to share this kind of work is so magic.
So this book, Your Cosmic Purpose, it's your sixth book. Sunday Times bestselling author Kirsty Gallagher. It was out on Thursday. And the response to it has been, I mean, people love your books anyway, but the response to this one is different. Tell us how come you think it's different?
I think that people are just ready for this kind of thing now. I think we've danced around this kind of thing, and I think spirituality is getting bigger and astrology started to get bigger, and people are recognising the power of the moon now. So now I think it's like, okay, let's go to the next level. And so everyone keeps saying this feels like the biggest book yet. And it, as you know, it took a lot to write this book. So I feel like I put everything I had into doing it.
And you backed yourself with this one, didn't you? And you speak to that in the book.
Yeah.
You took it. It's great because it starts off foundationally with the basics. What's consciousness? What is our soul? Where do we come from? You know, is everything sort of preordained? Did we preordain it before we manifested as a human being? And it's fantastic, Kirsty. And having the confidence to lay out the sort of the blueprint of the architecture of what you believe. Is that a different kind of confidence, a different kind of belief in yourself? Where did you gain the strength, the guidance, or the surety to know that this is the time to write this book? It's now okay for you to really turn up as your genuine self.
I think you just said it exactly there. It was about me really stepping into my cosmic purpose of who are you becoming, who are you, what are you here to share and do. And this book didn't make a lot of sense all the way up near to the deadline, and I was like, what's it about? Like, what do I want to bring through? And there was a little soul nudge, the inkling of it's time to bring through this. Everything you've lived by and believed for the last 20 years, it's time to get it out there. But then the other bit of like, but can I do that?
Yeah.
And am I ready to step into that role? And am I ready to share this kind of work? And so, as you know, the writing of this book took me through it. And my beliefs were tested so that I can now sit here with you now with all of my chest, with my entire heart and soul and every cell in me say, I believe in every word I wrote in this book.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because you say things are sent to test us, as the writing of this book was. And it's a sort of, this book sort of, you started to write it, and then as you carried on writing it, it gave you permission to keep on writing it. It's interesting. Yeah. And you talk about like in things you've never talked about before.
Yeah.
Like your past relationships and your past job and the various callings and the fact that even though you were with somebody who you loved, you knew that you were holding each other back. And that's all so candid, isn't it? That's all first time virgin territory for you.
It is. It really is. And sharing more of me, because I've always had that little belief with all of my books. I know people love me and they love my work. And I get asked on question boxes all the time, tell us more about you. But there's always a bit when it's like, why is anyone interested in me? It's surely my work. But I suppose in sharing my journey, it helps other people on theirs. That's what I've really realised.
Why you need to discover your cosmic purpose is where we begin. You know, and you say things that you would never have dared say before. You're completely qualified to say before. We've all been screaming at you for years. You're your biggest critic.
I am.
But you've really sort of blossomed with this. What is your soul? How dare you write that chapter, Kirsty? You would have said to yourself before.
Who am I to say what that is?
Yeah, I opened this book at the weekend and I thought, yes,
she's doing it.
Because I read these books all the time. You know, I have to for work.
We talk about it all the time behind the scenes.
But nobody's ever dared to write the chapter. What is your soul? Do you want to know what it is? Well, here you go. And when you say, you know, I believe this is our soul. I believe we begin with the soul. The soul's been here forever. Our soul will be here forever. When you say you believe it, where do you get that belief from? What is that about? How does it feel to truly buy into that?
I feel like it's from walking this path now for 20 years, and it's from first-hand experience, so I can only ever share. I speak on this a lot, but knowledge only becomes wisdom when it's embodied. So you can read something and that's knowledge and go, yeah, I know that. You can read about your soul, yeah, I know that. But it only becomes wisdom when it's embodied. And so I've maybe had in 20 years of meditating 3 times where I've become that. I've become that infinite, expansive, everything yet nothing. And that moment when you touch your soul and you realise you are a soul having a human experience, it's pure magic, but it's something that changes you forever.
And all the mortal nonsense falls away instantly.
Exactly.
Especially fear.
Yes.
Is fear the number one thing that falls away?
Yeah.
All right, and can you give us a glimpse into where those three events happened? Where you were, what in your life, in the world?
I was in, the first time it ever really happened was when I talk about in the book, I was in my corporate job and I knew I didn't belong there anymore. The soul nudge was so strong. I was like, this isn't where you need to be. It isn't where you need to be. And the fear's there, but how will I leave and how will I make it work? And I was meditating. I was in my mum's conservatory and I was meditating. It's that usual thing where you sit down to meditate, you close your eyes and then you're like, oh, there's some days it's easy. There's some days you're like, oh, want to scratch off your own skin because you're like, this feel... And I just remember that moment of just that merging. And it's that moment that keeps me meditating every day, even on those days when it's uncomfortable, because it never leaves you. It's like a window opens to your soul and you suddenly know yourself.
Because you've seen it.
Yeah.
You know
experienced
it's there.
it. Yeah.
Because you know.
Yeah,
that's
the thing. It's a knowing. It can't necessarily be logically explained and put in a spreadsheet. And because when we're talking about things of the divine and the soul, they're beyond human words. It's the human part of us that wants to give everything a word and an explanation and make it make sense. Whereas when there's that knowing, you just know.
Yeah. And so you talk about going to the woods, talking to your favourite tree.
Yeah.
Have I met your favourite tree?
You have. I introduced you to the wisdom keeper. We did.
Well, see, there's the witchy tree and there's the wizard tree.
Yes.
Is it the wizard tree or the witch tree?
The witch tree normally I will go to.
The witch tree. All right. Because I took Eli there for his birthday.
Did you?
Yeah. And I said, this is Kirsty's tree. And we felt the energy and all this kind of stuff. And we the only thing that was missing was you.
It's a really magical place.
Oh my gosh, forest generally.
Yeah.
And and once you open your senses up to that, it's not a possibility, it's reality, isn't it?
Yeah.
You start to operate even then on a whole different level.
That's it.
When you talk about the wizard tree, when you talk about leaving your job, was another pivot? Was it when you decided to leave London and come to where you are now?
Definitely. Because even that, I speak about that a lot because I always want to show people, even on the tour, every night I got on the tour, I confessed, I was terrified. Being on stage in front of 600 to 1,000 people isn't necessarily my comfort zone.
Right.
But I know I need to do it because it's part of my cosmic purpose. So I let people know that there is a fear there because I never want people to look at me and go, oh, well, it's all right for you because you're really if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Yeah.
So I tell the story about this a lot, that intuitive nudge when you and I spoke and it was like, move to Marlow, and I was like, okay, sure. Hadn't even seen the place I was moving into, handing my note because I just knew. And look at what's happened since.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
So it's that logically I could have sat there and gone, but why am I doing this? And the place is up for sale and it doesn't make sense to do it. And maybe I'll do it next week. And instead it was just something in my soul went, yes.
And you're my friend in Marlow.
Yeah.
You're my best pal in Marlow. And I love you for it and I'm grateful for it.
Too.
So not only were you drawn to where we are now, where we both live now, but you thought about moving away. And I can tell you, I'm happy to say it now, I was heartbroken. But you're no longer moving.
Still here.
Because you thought there was an onward journey and you thought you'd bought a place almost 100 miles away and you haven't. And I'm secretly thinking for everybody listening now, it's like, but Kirsty, you love where you live. Yeah. You've got your forest, you've got your witch tree, you've got the wizard tree, you got the...
And you.
Yeah, and you got the crying woods.
Yes.
And I'm thinking... But I didn't say it because back to Mel Robbins, who's on the show in a bit. Let her.
Yeah.
You know, if you love somebody or something, set it free and see what happens. Yeah. And I didn't say don't move, did I?
No, you didn't.
But I was like secretly praying, please don't move. And you may still leave, but it just seems like your spiritual home. Just let me give a flavour of what's in the book. things like choosing thoughts and beliefs that empower your soul. Yeah, you've heard it before, but you've never heard it like this. Raise your vibration. You attract abundance, joy, and happiness into your life easily and effortlessly by simply making yourself a vibrational match for all that you want. And then all that you don't want and all that's toxic and bad for you is left behind. You leave it for dead, don't you?
It just literally begins to fall away.
It has
so it's
no
no
chance.
longer there. No,
Just
it
talk to that a
doesn't.
bit more, Kirsty.
I think that when we talk about vibrational frequencies and bringing in what we want, when we are in a certain way, when we're looking to the outside world for validation, approval, permission, when we're looking to them, if only they were different, if only that were different, if only my boss were different, I'd be happy. If only my partner didn't speak to me like that, we'd be fine. We give all of our power away to the outside world, and then we'll continue to attract those things into our life to teach us the lessons they need to teach us. As soon as we begin to take that power back in us and go, okay, well, rather than looking at why they annoy me, what is it in me that's unhealed? What is it where is it in me that I'm looking outside of me? Once you realise that everything you already need is within you, those same things won't come into your life. You won't notice the negative thing over here or the traffic being busy. You'll just be in a beautiful flow of abundance within, and that's when life is different.
When you talk about the fact we set out on the human journey and you think our soul plots out our course. I know what you mean by that. When did that idea come to you? How sure are you that that is the case? And can you explain a bit more about what I mean?
Of course. I mean, the thing with all of the work that I do is that, and many kind of even religions and things, no one can say definitively 100% that is truth. Like we can say this is a table truth. But when it comes to the spiritual world, no one can 150% say categorically there are such things as past life, your soul chooses this, until we go back there. If you believe there's a there. What's important for us and our purpose is that we find our own truth. We find a truth that resonates with us so that our truth and our beliefs then help us to live a life that, for the most part, is meaningful, purposeful, happy, joyful, abundant. And even when difficult things happen, we've got a belief that gets us through that. So the belief for me around the soul choosing experiences just came from the many past life experiences I've done where I realised similar things in past lifetimes seem to happen in different ways, in different forms. Spending a lot of time in meditation with spiritual teachers, connecting more to the essence and energy and vibration of my soul, asking those answers of why are we here and what are we here for. And when I landed on that belief, it made so much sense to me. Because I hold this really strong belief that my soul has chosen this for me and my soul would never choose anything I couldn't get through. So even in the hardest times, that then gives me comfort that my soul would never choose anything I couldn't get through. And even the toughest times are there to help me to grow and evolve in the way my soul needs me to in this lifetime.
Now, this doesn't mean you have superpowers that you can call upon at a moment's notice. It does mean you have superpowers, because I think we all have superpowers.
We do.
I really believe that. But I've seen you frazzled.
Yeah.
And you're the first to talk about this, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean life is plain sailing at all.
No.
Not for a second.
No, I'm still human and I still have human moments.
Yeah.
And I still... You know, if you'd have seen me last week on the tour, when they tried to tell me yesterday I was on standby for my flight, I cried in that airport a lot. But then even in then, there's a little part of me then that goes, okay, but trust the process, trust the timing.
Yeah.
It's all going to be okay. It's all going to work out.
Because it is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. And at the end of every chapter, and this book is so good. It's good. Just feeling it is amazing. Your Cosmic Purpose, Kirsty Gallagher. The titles of the book are great. Each title starts on the right-hand page. On the left-hand page, opposite each title, there's this lovely mantra. So chapter 20, lean on your spiritual support squad is the name of the chapter. Opposite that, on the left-hand page, is your spiritual support squad holds the map of your journey and can assist you when you get lost, confused, or forget your way. Just reading that just makes you feel more at ease with your life. And then at the end of every chapter, there's a little recap called Whispers from Your Soul. So the whispers from that chapter. Do you feel that you've lived lives before? What are your beliefs around these past lives? What soul contracts do you intuitively feel you're working through in this lifetime? What questions do you want to take into your Akashic records right now to have answered? Where do you get all this stuff from? Does it come to you? Do you channel it? You also in this book, first of all, specify your qualifications. Which that's a change for you.
Yeah.
You've laid it out. You've said, look, this is, and you're not flexing. So for people who haven't read the book yet, what are your qualifications?
I mean, I've been doing this work for 20 years. I've been walking this journey for 20 years, and along that journey, I've become a crystal healer, Reiki healer, regressional therapist, yoga teacher, meditation teacher.
They're not online 6-day courses. These are big deals, aren't they? So take us through what you've experienced in order to become a teacher.
I mean, first-hand experience is a lot of it. So going to teach them, I mean, I lived in India for an entire year when I wanted to study yoga because I wanted to go to the depths of where it came from. And so even there, I was studying with many spiritual teachers and masters. And I like to go to the elders and to people who we haven't necessarily heard of, because some of the most enlightened people are the ones just doing their thing quietly, without that big Instagram following and things, And so even doing all of those things back in those days didn't necessarily make sense at the time. But all of it's been leading me towards more purpose and more purpose and more purpose. And so this book, as you say, feels like that next expansion of like, are you ready now to step into... Whenever we feel like a dissatisfaction or a niggle in life that you're worth more than this, there's something better out there for you than this, you deserve more than this, it's our soul calling us into the next level of expansion. And I feel like that's what my soul's done with me with this book. It's like, you got to expand.
Now, I've heard this talked about a lot and written about a lot, but never like you've done it in this book. It may not feel like it, but you can choose your thoughts. Think about how easy you find it to choose not to believe something good that someone says about you, or that something good is about to happen for you. You can do the same with the negative thoughts. You can choose not to allow them to be true for you. You can choose not to catch them if you like. What's your version of that?
So just watching those thoughts, I like to question my thoughts constantly. Is it true? Is that true? Is that true? And I think one of the greatest things we can do about or for ourselves on a spiritual journey or any journey is to get really curious about ourselves. So really watch yourself day to day and notice how we just get caught up in that ego spiral, and instead pause, take a breath and go, oh, why did I react like that?
Yeah.
Oh, why did that upset me so much? Oh, what did that make me think about when they said that to me? And rather than, again, finger pointing, if you just did that and that upset me, go in and go, why did that upset me? So just realising that you are not your thoughts. They can be changed at any time. But your thoughts will give you a beautiful insight as to where you are if you can get really curious about
There's
them.
a reason they've come up. They've risen.
Absolutely.
Because they rise up, our thoughts, don't they?
Yep.
So they rise up for a reason. Like we end up, for spontaneously singing a song in the shower. We don't know why. There's a reason. There is a reason.
Yeah.
We didn't just... That doesn't mean nothing. It means something.
Yeah.
It might mean something fun and trivial, but it means something. It could mean something really serious. So your thoughts rise. You should notice them. You should be aware of them. You shouldn't put them on a doom loop if they're bad for you.
No.
And also, if you do put thoughts on a doom loop, it's an excuse not to do anything about them as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Procrastination is many other things as well.
Yeah.
But they're there for an absolute 100% reason.
They are.
You believe, and that's...
I think they're there to show us where we're out of alignment with the truth of ourselves.
Yeah.
So when you are in that spiral, and it's also really interesting if you suddenly catch yourself singing something, if you can thread back the last thoughts
Go
and you
upstream.
start to thread, and go, wow, I got from there to there to there to there to there. Like, wow.
Breaking the speed limit now with these thoughts.
Yeah.
Because in Plum Village with Thich Nhat Hanh and his teachings, it's their version of Is That True? Is Are You Sure?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's just, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Let them. You
Yeah.
and Mel Robbins, you're like the perfect guest. I'd love you to go on tour together. Are you a Mel Robbins fan?
I am. I already messaged John saying, can I stick around and watch Mel on the show?
Of course you can, 100%. And again, when I said you were coming on the show, loads of women said, oh my goodness me, I can't wait for Kirsty. And Mel is the same. Men love Mel Robbins, but women love her in such a different way. Tell us about your audiences. Are they primarily female?
I'd say primarily female. It was really interesting though with this book. We had quite a lot of men in the audience. It was
it's
incredible.
It's going to happen more and more.
It really,
thank
really
God.
was. Yeah.
And it needs to.
Yeah, it was incredible finding the men coming representing, and some of them were like really proudly representing us. Some of them were like at the back going, oh yeah, I'm here somewhere. Predominantly women, I think.
Yeah.
Because I feel like just from a lot of the work I've done so far, women are a little bit more attuned to living by the moon and the goddess path. And we're naturally, I think, a little more in tune to intuition and feeling things that aren't necessarily can be logically proven.
Yeah.
So I think we have a more natural initial in. But equally, I think all of us right now are searching for something greater, something to believe in, something to give life reason. Yeah, I really do think we're on a massive turning point right now.
Chapter 15, this is great. Listen, listen to the radio now. How good does this chapter title make you feel? Chapter 15. Meet the universe halfway and then surrender the rest. Halfway's far enough. It doesn't matter. And in a way, you're supposed to surrender the rest. Yeah. And when you get good at this, you can meet the universe a quarter of the way and surrender the rest. Then you can meet the universe on the first step of the way and then surrender the rest. And then you can just surrender. Yeah. That's where this leads, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Because we try to control, our egos live in fear, so they will try to grip, control and micromanage everything.
And ego is the human, isn't it? It's mostly the human.
Ego, I call it human you, because it just feels like a nicer term. But our ego is our human us. It's a little part of us that believes us to be separate, that worries, that wants to control everything, that's always on the lookout for what could go wrong. And when we begin to just live in, and I say that to people all the time, if you're going into 15 things that could go wrong, find just one that could go right.
This is the first book since I've been married to Tash, which is a long time now. It's much longer than we think.
No.
That she's ever read.
No. I knew you were going to... Has she really? Yeah. Oh, you're going to make me cry.
She is. You're going to make me cry. What are you doing? She started crying 3 pages in. She said, this is killing me, this book already. She said, this is why I don't read. And I said, this is why you should read.
Tash has never read a book. She and I have even had conversations about it.
She reads all the time, just not books. Look at you.
Tash, thank you.
Oh, amazing. We're out of time, Kirsty, but you're going to stick around for Mel Robbins.
I am.
So good, this book. So good. Kirsty Gallagher, Your Cosmic Purpose. And your Cosmic Weather Reports now have US ads in them, which means that your 17-minute Cosmic Weather Report, which drops every Sunday night, is clearly global. Did you know this?
No.
Because I listen to your podcast. You don't listen to your podcast because you don't need to, because you do it. So in the middle of your podcast, you have all these American ads, which means you're big in America.
If you said to me how many people listen to it, I'd be like, probably you, me, and my mum. You know.
Unfortunately, it's not. By the way, a lot of this book is about your mate Sharon.
It is,
isn't it? Just tell us a bit about Sharon.
Sharon was one of the greatest lights the world has ever seen. She truly was. Sharon loved life like no one I've ever experienced before, and Sharon's death was the biggest catalyst for my life. And she's the one that really set me on this journey. That
was the starting pistol.
She set me on it. I truly believe that her soul, even maybe as part of her soul's journey, chose that moment to go in order for me. I feel her so with me that she was like, this is going to be what sends you on the journey.
It's okay because obviously we're both tearing up, but it's okay because we're only on the radio. Exactly. Nobody can see us. Oh, yes, they can because we're live streaming it nowadays. Kevin says, can you ask Kirsty about twin flames and what does she think?
Oh, twin flames. I do believe in twin flames and soulmates. The difference is that twin flames are normally 2 parts of the same soul that find their way back to each other.
Got it. Hi, Chris. What a fantastic listen with Kirsty Gallagher. I truly am inspired by Kirsty's wonderful words and knowledge and can't wait to start reading her new book, says Martha in Wiltshire. Val's been on. Queen Owl. Kirsty, what a superstar, articulating everything I feel. I love her.
I'm going to cry again.
So you can take 5 now. You're in charge of the tea. You got to make tea for the team. Stick around, become part of the crew.
I will.
And if Mel Robbins people say, "Who's this?" Just say, "I just work on the show."
I will.
Yeah, and then I'll tell Mel that you're a fellow Sunday Times best-selling author.
Thank you. Right. Love you.
Love you too, Kirst. Miss you. When do we get you back in Marlow?
The week after next. Tash and I are already arranging it.
Okay, good. Your new book smart friend. Right, Your Cosmic Purpose. It's out now, Kirsty Gallagher. It's amazing. All right, let's hear it for Kirsty, please, if you don't mind. Woo! Mel Robbins is on the way. What a show today.
Oh, my God.
Wow. I know.